Peace, everybody. It's your boy Jay every day. And today's topic is the problem with Quincy Jones, aka the Informant. I know this is kind of going to be a old, already hashed out topic. I know that people have already discussed it. I know that people have had a lot to say with regards to this interview that Quincy Jones had. Also, I want to just preface this by saying I was disappointed in a few people. Specifically, not that I should say disappointed, but that Ebro Darden from Hot 97 and Charlemagne the God both liked what Quincy Jones had to say. Let me take that back about being disappointed, and I shouldn't be surprised knowing that these dudes talk for a living and any content for them is good content. So let me just start off by saying that. The second point is this. I don't know when it became cool as a man to tell everything you know about a certain situation. What happened to keeping some stuff between men? What happened to having some discretion? What happened to men holding yourself to a standard that means something anymore? It doesn't matter whether or not the stuff that he was saying with regards to that Quincy Jones was saying in regards to Michael Jackson, Marlon Brando, James Dean, and Marvin Gaye was true or not. My thing is, how are you going to speak ill of the dead? How are you going to say something about somebody when you damn sure know well that they're not here to defend themselves? And then everybody just take it as gospel, like, oh, it must be true because he said it. Yeah, Quincy Jones been around for a minute, so you know he knows everything. And it's like, damn, as a man, you can't hold water, you can't keep nothing from public consumption. I don't know how I would feel if I'm a person that's associated with him, Quincy Jones, and I've known you for 30 plus years, but you're running your mouth about people we used to run with or knew from back in our days. How am I supposed to be around somebody like that? How am I supposed to trust you with dirt that you may have on me? I think there used to be an edict of what we do together stays between us. I know some people may call it the bro code, or some people may call it honor amongst thieves or honor amongst men. But at some point, what happened to I'm keeping my mouth shut? And nowadays, you see it more than ever. You see people out here, whether they're committing a crime, whether they know something, and the first thing you see them do is run their mouth. I mean, you see certain types of women do it, but I can't say that that's a trait that all women do, because my own mother doesn't do that. Yeah, sometimes she gives her opinion about shit. I may not necessarily agree with her opinion, However, it's called discretion. And there seems to be a lack of it these days. Let me tell everybody a little story. I don't know if you've heard about it. You may have not heard about it. There's two specific cases of discretion. I'm pretty sure everybody knows the home run king, Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds had this trainer, off the top of my head, I can't remember what his name was. But they were so intent on getting Barry Bonds, they locked his trainer up. Now, off the top of my head, I don't know how many years this dude did in prison. It may have been under 5, or it may have been more than 5 years. Barry Bonds never went to prison, and the one thing I noticed is they didn't do this to no one else's trainer except Barry Bonds' trainer. But the one thing I'll say about dude is he never snitched. He could have fabricated something. He may have known something, or then again, he may not have known anything. But the one thing he never did, he never opened his mouth or spoke disparagingly about Barry Bonds. And he took a prison bid on top of everything else he went through. Should he have done it or shouldn't he? I don't know without knowing all the aspects of the case and all the parameters regarding the case. But one thing I do know is that man can hold his head up. He can go and talk to anybody, be anybody personal trainer in Hollywood or in sports forever. Because as soon as anybody has some question about him, do a background check on me. Find out what happened. And everybody's going to know that man stood up. And he didn't run his mouth. There's another person. Back when Bill Clinton was president, there was a special prosecutor named Kenneth Starr who was trying to get him on, some kind of charges or whatever. Once again, not knowing if the charges were true or not, they went after somebody. This woman named Susan McDougal. Ken Starr threatened her. Ken Starr did all this stuff to her, and eventually he put her in jail. And she could have fabricated something. She could have told him or agreed with whatever he said. But this woman had principles. This woman showed everybody, including a bunch of bitch-ass men, how you stand up and be a solid individual. And see, being a solid individual has nothing to do with color, has nothing to do with socioeconomic background, finance, or nothing. Being solid and an A1 person is being solid and an A1 person. So when I hear Quincy Jones talk about Marlon Brando having sex with this man and him sleeping with James Dean and Marvin Gaye being a homosexual, my thing is like, even if you knew that, these are supposed to be people that you cool with. These are supposed to be, obviously you have to be cool with them to some extent if you know all of this shit about them. And the first thing you do is go and run your mouth to somebody. It's disgusting, actually, when I think about it, and it's equally disgusting when I hear other men talk about it like there's nothing wrong with it. That's what's wrong with the world today. Well, one of the issues that's wrong with the world today. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody has to shine. Yeah, I done sat up here in the hotel room and slept with this professional athlete. Let me take a picture of it and put it on social media. But where does the thought cross your mind? Maybe I can just be a solid stand-up woman for this athlete. And maybe, just maybe, he'll see that, yeah, she's a down-ass chick. She's cool. She keeps herself. She's quiet. This is somebody I want to rock with. That thought never crosses your mind. First thought that crosses your mind is, how can I capitalize on this right now on social media? How can I do a quick come up? How can I share everything and not have no discretion when it comes to anything anymore? Let me tweet my innermost thoughts so the whole world can know what I'm thinking when I'm thinking it. Don't let me stand out. Don't let me be the exception to the rule. Don't let me be extraordinary. Let me do what everybody else is doing. See, the problem with people like Quincy Jones is it's not enough to be rich. It's not enough to be famous. It's not enough to have all of these accolades and God knows how many recognitions for my contribution to music and for my contribution as an artist. Oh, why would I want to be known for that? Why is that important? Ask Prince why it's important. Ask Leonardo DiCaprio why it's important. Or Julia Roberts. Or Meryl Streep. No one needs to know everything about you or your life. No one needs to know all the dirt you may have on somebody. It's just TMZ culture that is so disgusting. And you wonder why people don't go to the movies, or they have to go see the most nonsensical movies that are out. There's no such thing as a movie star anymore. There's only a few movie stars. There's only a few people that can, hey, I'm gonna make a movie about this. Doesn't matter what it is, but because I am who I am, I'm going to do this type of movie and try and make it seem like something fresh or something original, something that you haven't seen before. Let me try and stand out and make something, create some art that is going to stand out from what everyone else is doing. And somebody else has the audacity or nerve to come along and proceed to tell every fucking thing about your life. I think one time the actor Tom Hardy was doing some type of role. I think it was the movie Legend, where he played the two twins, Ronnie and Reggie Cray. They were two crazy ass twins in London back in the 60s. And one of the twins was a known homosexual. So somebody asked him something about the role, and they dug up and they referenced some old interview where Tom Hardy, said some things with regards to his sexuality. Well, the person doing the interview for the movie Legend decided to bring up that old quote, and Tom Hardy looked at him and like, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm not about to sit here while I'm promoting this movie and talk to you about what I do or don't do in the bedroom. I'm not giving you that. I'm not telling you that. And see, and the first thing people want to say is, oh, you signed up for this business. You can't have no expectation of privacy. This, and the third. This doesn't have anything to do with publicity and fame, movie stars or any music stars or anything. This has to do with common decency and discretion and knowing how to keep your mouth shut. Discretion cuts across all political, economic, and racial lines. Either you can keep your mouth shut or you can't. Either you can be a stand-up person or you can't. But you can't have it both ways. You can't try to be like, oh, I'm so down, I'm so hip, I was around for this and that. But then you want to go and proceed to tell every detail of what you know about somebody. It's the same thing with these girls who get with Hugh Hefner. Yeah, you decide to lay up here with a man old enough to be your grandfather and have sex with him and multiple other women on numerous occasions. Then you decide you want to write a book about it afterwards. The hell are you going to write for? What the hell are you going to write about? How you got smutted out? I bet you ain't going to talk about your lack of judgment in deciding to sleep with an 80-year-old man, though. You ain't going to hear nothing about that, though. Yeah, this goes out to Miss Corinne Steffens also. You sat up here and had sexual relationships with all these different people. You didn't get a commitment from anybody. You were passed around and used, and then you're going to write a book about it. Then you still wind up being somebody's side piece. You keep messing with flawed individual after flawed individual. The only common denominator is you keep letting these flawed people get in between your legs. Then you're looking crazy like, what am I doing? Or how could this happen with this effed up person and this effed up person? I can give you another example. Donna Brazile, black lady in politics, was part of the whole Hillary Clinton machine. After they lost the election, which she was a part of Hillary Clinton's team, after it found out that she got busted giving Hillary Clinton questions that she was going to be asked on a debate, and you get fired, then you decide, now I'm going to write a tell-all book. Oh, really? What are you going to write a tell-all book about? Are you going to talk about the dirt that you did? Are you going to talk about all the times that Hillary Clinton shitted on black people? Are you going to talk about the times that you stood up and told her you can't do that? Or did you stand up and fight for black people? Or was you just grinning and going along like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and do whatever you say? And this is coming from a person who in no shape, form, or fashion is a friend of the Clintons era in politics. This is the world that we live in. You got an 85-year-old man just spilling shit that happened 50 fucking years ago, or however long ago it was. And then you got people up here saying, I love it, and ooh, this is spicy, and ooh, what's the tea, and all of that. How about, no, you punk motherfucker, how about keeping your mouth shut? How about letting the dead rest in peace? Having some respect for the dead. Not spilling every secret that person has. And the same thing with Richard Pryor's widow, man. Now that I'm on it, yeah, I'm gonna publish his diary. So his private thoughts, you're gonna put in a book, and the shit probably isn't gonna even sell. And the parts that are salacious that they are able to print, if they don't get sued for it, you've done what? You've made a couple of $1 million. Oh, the public needs to hear this. Oh, this should be coming out. It's all garbage. It's nothing but a bunch of cowardly and spineless jellyfish. Man, to hell with Quincy Jones and his gossiping and chatty patty ass nigga. That's the world we live in. Damn. 80-year-old man can't hold his water. He gotta spill everything that he knows. Just some sucker shit. That's my thoughts on the whole situation with Quincy Jones, man. It just basically comes down to common decency and a lack of discretion. So with that being said, that was my discussion for the day. If you like what I hear, subscribe. You got comments, bad and good, put them in the comment section below. Subscribe if you like the link. Once again, this is your boy Jay every day, and I'm gone. Peace.